Begin 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 get a good skitty mana good mana get a mana good mana. Welcome to my drawing process. Hi everyone, I've been thinking about what content would be useful to share with everyone that is related to digital art and using an iPad Pro for that purpose. I watched a few other artists to get inspiration and thought it would be fruitful to share with everyone my drawing process. To start off, I usually use my sketchbook to practice a couple of times the art piece that I'm working on. At this stage, the drawing doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just trying to get a feel of the artwork, the basic shapes, curves and shading that will be required. I've learned from other artists that it's always useful to use a sketchbook, as going back to the basics of sketching with pencil and paper allows you to refine your skills further while being able to create art that doesn't necessarily need to be complete or perfect. It allows you to have fun, explore new skills and ways of creating art that you usually wouldn't do if you're trying to create a completed art piece. I will now be moving on to using the iPad Pro to create the final art piece. The app that I'm using is called Procreate. I had started this a few days earlier and thought I could use this piece to share my digital drawing process. I usually begin with basic shapes to create the head shape and any protrusions like the nose and mouth. After I have created a basic sketch, I move on to adding details like the eyes, nose, mouth and hair. I had already drawn this previously, so I'm up to the eye. When adding details like eyes, I begin with the basic outline of the eye and parts that needed to be shaded before adding details like shadows and highlights. After this, I usually move on to skin tones and shading darker areas with the soft brush on Procreate. There is a lot of touching up during this phase and attention to smaller details. The hair is usually not the hardest part, it's just more tedious. For colouring in the hair, I again use the soft brush. But for the individual hair strokes, I usually just use a pencil brush. For more minute details like the shading of the lips and face, I take my time and keep adjusting until I'm satisfied with it. I feel like showing contrast through shading of shadows and darker tones is what brings the picture to life. The more contrast, the better. I decided to change the colour to a dark pink because it stands out more and still gives the same effect as the black colour. Enjoy the final reveal.